with a wish for all beings to be free. Free from the constriction and contraction of held belief systems and thought patterns. Free of the automatic reactivity of held emotional patterns. And free of distorted perceptions. I will always go for refuge to a live, vibrant, radiant, spacious awareness until awareness is ongoing, like the flow of a river. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the presence of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of any time and or any lineage or none, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all beings. As long as space remains, as long as beings remain. May I manifest in such a way to ease and dispel the miseries in the universe. I'd like, with your permission, I'd like, with your permission, to start with something a little different today, and then from there go into the maybe a more actually referencing Chenrezig, if it's helpful. We did this in group the other day, and I wish we had Ola. We don't. Hopefully it will transmit in its own way. I am taking it from a commentary in A Trackless Path from Ken MacLeod on a Jigme Lingpa text. But he suggests we do something together. So I'd like to suggest we start there. What he suggests is that we sit for a few moments and open, I'm going to use his words now, sit for a few moments and open to everything you experience. Start with everything you see in the room in which you are sitting. The chairs, tables, desks, carpet, walls, paintings, lighting, ceiling, floor. Open to all the sounds you hear. The hum of appliances, the rumble of the furnace or air conditioning. Music, if you have any playing. Voices and other sounds from neighbors or the street outside. The rustle of the wind, the patter of rain, the hush of snow. Open to all the physical sensations you experience too. The feel of your clothes on your skin. The pressure of the chair against your body. Include tastes and smells if there are any. Then include all the thoughts and feelings that are there as well. rest in the field of everything you experience. And if you choose to do this on your own, rest as long as resting is occurring. And then if you feel like it, pose the question, what experiences all this? Do not try to answer the question. Just pose it and see what happens. As we start today, I don't know about you, but I have many times in practice put my focus on doing the practice. I'm not a very good practitioner, by the way. Without you all, I don't know how often I would be practicing. What he suggests is a very simple experiential, I won't even say practice. And things can shift. However they shift, I have not found a way to hold on to that at all. Just to come back again and again to the experience of, I don't even want to put a name to it. A lot of you in here have been practicing for a long time. And you may have had experiences which you actually, well, I'll say my experience. You don't notice in the moment of the experience that conceptual thinking has fallen away. That constant, what I call the describer. We notice it because our habit is generally, I'll say my habit in my lifetime has been to pay attention in that direction, sort of. But when there is no describer or conceptualization happening, there's nobody to notice that. And yet there is awareness. Not describable awareness. And when this breaks, he says, this is very fun. Granted, the shift, I'm pointing at, may last only a moment or two before your awareness and attention collapse into thinking. But the shift gives you a taste of mind itself. Every method of every teacher who is trying to share somehow the experience of this, is pointing at that. Yet, if we're able to do a simple exercise like he is suggesting, shifts can occur. It is the describer that is constantly trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, am I doing it right? So when you ask that question, as he says, what experiences all of this, and become aware of the vast display of experiences that we are engaged in, sometimes this helps us engage. The potential for the shift into something that can't be grasped or named, but is utterly alive and aware, can happen. Will it happen? It's one of the reasons I like Ken MacLeod. He has not had, and describes, he has not had a gentle, easy path in any way. He talks about everybody. Some people seem to fall in so easily. Some people keep trying for years. I like what he says. Some people have to crawl through alligator infested swamps or cross hot, barren deserts to even have a glimpse of something like what's being pointed at. Others swim smoothly in this sea. It's not a judgment in any way, it's just how we're wired, maybe, or what our life experiences have been. There's a wonderful quote, and then maybe we could carry this into an open practice of what we can call Chenrezig. It's from an anonymous author of something titled Full on Arrival. Until we experience it, emptiness sounds so empty. Once experienced, all is empty by comparison. How can there be no thing? And yet the richness and fullness, when we open completely, if we're able, for a moment, to everything, every no thing. It's not a solvable contradiction. It's not a contradiction. But those words, do they help? So taking that, perhaps, experience of a moment where conceptualization may have fallen away. Or let's not try to put a lot of words on it. There seems to be a glimpse or an experience in a moment of something indescribable. But completely full. And in that fullness, although we won't have the describer in that moment, when we grab back our conceptual mind, it may occur, all kinds of descriptions may occur, none of them very accurate. So perhaps if you choose to find for yourself that rich moment of openness, you can call on a memory of open-heartedness that you've experienced, or perhaps you felt from your teacher, or if you're lucky, from your mother or father, or your lover. There's a kind of a sense of fullness, openness, but that's in hindsight and it's a description. We are trying to create an experience in this practice of something that is always present. If it wasn't, it would be a come and go. Our recognition, our awareness of it may come and go. Oh, there's so many descriptions. Interconnectedness of all life, love of all life for life. Are those useful? I don't know. But I found this experience, even if you want to call it an experiment, where together we just sit and open to the experience of everything around us. Not trying to find something outside or inside of our body, but actually using our sense organs. We are in human form. To interact, to experience. But whatever you choose today, or perhaps wherever you are this moment, when the experience of openness, the experience of, the words won't go there. Love, joy, connectedness, warmth. When it arises, whether we are trying right now to simply get a taste of it, or whether it appears to be fully arising, wherever you are, start there. If it's a memory, perhaps, of feeling great open-heartedness, perhaps you've attached, as most of us do, to the stimulus that allowed that to occur. So in trying to remember what that feels like, or to experience it again, we may grab the stimulus to help us remember. That's fine. Sitting by the ocean, watching the waves come in and go out. Those stimulus stimuli are different for everyone. You may recall or be experiencing the lack of any sense of grasping, at least for a moment. Kind of complete relaxation. I don't know. I don't want to try to describe what you may experience, because yours may feel slightly different than any words, or very different. Sort of fullness and openness, perhaps, from which, with very little effort or no effort at all, whether you are experiencing light or sound or all the experiences that are arising, in the practice, we often effortfully try to rest in some openness, open-heartedness, and then effortfully allow that to relax. We use the lotus as a symbol, some of us, of it relaxing and opening into its true essence. And the rays, the inner petals of the seed syllable of the mantra, sitting on the 6 inner petals of different colors. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Some of us may feel the vibration, the sound of the mantra, which is simply the symbol of the same thing I can't describe, called open-heartedness, called love. But there we are with the label again. As we rest, the lack of conceptual separation, which is so common to all of us, is there for excellent reasons. Survival. What the heck is going on? When it drops away, you are not separate. And light rays or vibration or sound, the very essence of sound, light, and vibration that makes up the universe, not separate, without effort, vibrates into the universe. We can make the effort when we need to or we want to, of allowing ourselves to remember something, or maybe it's music, sunsets, different for everybody, that allows that relaxation for a moment into the simple experience of being alive. Fully present and experiencing as this moment. Some days we can call in images of bodhisattvas and Buddhas, filling our heart with that essence of open-heartedness, represented by the speaking of the light rays, represented by the sound, symbolized by the sound of the mantra. And feel every Buddha and Bodhisattva that ever was, ever is, and ever will be, which, by the way, is not excluding yourself. Radiating their warmth, openness, light, vibration, sound, enveloping you. Not beings from some time long ago. Beings present right now, right here, in every moment. Not separate. I might have used the word reaching out, but there is no sending happening. They have recognized they are the light, the sound, the vibration, and it simply radiates naturally and surrounds us whenever we're open to it, right there, in every moment. When we say the mantra, or we visualize, we do a ritual of some sort. Perhaps its most important aspect is that for a moment, we're not focused in one of our habitual patterns. We're doing something different, which may allow a little space, a little break from our conceptual mind, which is not bad, it's just very limited. Especially if we believe it. As we, perhaps I think you've all had the visualization, I'm not sure. Or what we do in here, the soundization, the vibrationalization, or we may have a moment where we can allow the vibration, the touch, the light. It is the essence of all beings to fill our heart, never separate. And then we'll grab it back. We do. It's a pretty strong habit, yes. But we may have a moment of not in words, but in experience. That what we feel sometimes as isolation, loneliness, separateness is actually a protectiveness, and it's an illusion. It's said all beings have been, are, or will be, and I'm not sure those are separate, Buddhists. We just don't recognize it. And what the hell does that mean anyway? If we don't know what the experience is, how would we know what that is? So we're going on a little bit of faith. We're not, most of us, we don't recognize that. And our personalities are not what we seek refuge in, I hope, or anybody else's refuge. Anybody else's personality. So when that openness may occur of allowing all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas present right now to fill our hearts. Or the other way, remembering a time we felt our hearts open. We can allow that, weird words, unity of aliveness, unity of light, space, vibration, sound, which we are, to fill our heart. For many of us, that is scarier than resting in what we call emptiness, which is a dull reflection for many of us, an idea of whatever we choose to name it, Tawa, Trecha. You are Chenrezig. It's simply an essence, a description, a symbol of the essence of who every being is. Whether we rest in the fullness of when a waft of what I'm trying very poorly to point at, that thing we will often label love and attach to something. When our attention and awareness can simply rest in it openly when it occurs. We're trying to make it occur. That's already a separation. When it occurs, when it arises, we can rest unseparated in that experience. Again and again and again. Whether we start with an experience that we remember or have had, a feeling that given to us from a teacher, a bodhisattva, whatever, or whether we felt that sense of, for our puppy, our kitten, of utter openness, our child. Hallmark commercials, they just kill me. whatever it is, music, dancing, where for a minute that tight grip on self-protectiveness falls away because the sense of self conceptualized, that is, self, it's a concept, falls away. Seems so unfair to me that a live form on any level is trying to protect itself. We're wired that way. How else would species survive? And yet that causes us so much suffering, that sense of self, self-preservation. Can't fight it. We're hardwired for it. Why, it seems unfair to me sometimes. And all these wonderful masters or mistresses or whatever are pointing, saying, that's an illusion. That's an illusion. Look here. And everything in us is going, all of our mask, our Bill Blah, as Lama Lena calls it, all this mass of thoughts, feelings, creating perceptions, is yelling, don't look there. Don't look there. Look here. Look at me. Look over here. Let's talk about this. Let's try to understand it. Let's. Or I. That seems like a conflict, a contradiction, an unfair contradiction and conflict. And then the instructions are, oh, just relax and let go. Sure. I think I'm a little out of words. If it's okay with you, I'd just like to sit with you. Let everybody rest in their own way, wherever and however. Noticing the, I'm not going to say that. We could say silly words like the group vibe, the supportive environment, the safety of this group. But that's kind of silly. Those are words too. It's said from many teachers that we need words to distract our conceptual mind a little bit so that what is underneath that can rest. We can have a glimpse or whatever. How about we give it a try to simply sit together? And if the conceptual mind gets really loud, maybe try to relax and rest back in this moment. Or if it's too loud, simply wander off and do whatever that conceptual mind is telling you or insisting that you do and pay attention to. If you wander off, please, whatever glimpse, openness, whatever may have occurred, just by being able to be together, allow that to go out into the universe without grasping. Nothing to be done, nothing to fix. Just the experience freely of this moment. give one more method. Please mute me if you're not wanting one more method. It's described as, I don't remember from who, like putting a chair in the middle of an empty room and waiting to see who comes to visit or what comes to visit. It doesn't mean engaging with whatever comes to visit, having conversations. It's just noticing without judgment every bit of life, if you will, that pops up. I like the term comes to visit. Don't have to invite it in to have tea and talk to you. It's amazing the display that arises. All of that is us also, just alive. There is I don't know what it is. It's another method outside of this. I believe it's called voice dialogue. Had a little bit of it. It's kind of what that sitting and watching who comes to visit with some awareness. Oh, there's the restless one. I'm bored. Why am I doing this? I have things to do. All the different voices that come to try to get our attention. Underneath all of that, what's there in what experiences, whatever arises. No answer. Don't look for an answer. You need to shift. This physical presence is going to wander off. But we are present together always when we notice. I'm so grateful that we have the chance to be together. appears more obvious than when we're not physically present together. Well, zoomily present together. May we like waves in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, if you will. May we dance together, connecting, breaking apart, until we always know we're simply the water. We've never been anything else, and we've never left that home. Love you all, and I will see you next time.